Vikings, the mysterious warriors of the North. The Vikings are known as one of the most enigmatic and fascinating communities in history. Emerging from the cold and rugged lands of the North, these brave individuals terrified Europe for centuries, while simultaneously astonishing the world with their spirit of exploration. But who were the Vikings? Were they merely marauding warriors? Or were they pioneers of the age of exploration? Let us delve deeper into their history, daily life, art of war, mythology, and the legacy they left in the modern world. Who were the Vikings? The Vikings were a group of seafarers, traders, warriors, and settlers who lived in the Scandinavian region of Northern Europe between the 8th and 11th centuries. They are particularly remembered for their raids on coastal towns and cities, especially in England and France. What does the word Viking mean? The word Viking is derived from the Old Norse term vik, meaning bay or inlet. It refers to one who comes from the bay or one who embarks on a sea voyage. Vikings were often described as Norse seafarers, pirates, warriors, and traders who became famous for their explorations, trade, and raids across Europe and beyond during the 8th to 11th centuries. Some suggest the term originated from a region in Norway. Different nations referred to Viking communities with various names, including Danes, Norse, Northmen, Nordmani, Askomani, Elmaju, Ros, Varangoy, Gail, and Lochlanach. Where was the Viking homeland? The Viking homeland was the Scandinavian region encompassing present-day Norway, Sweden, and Denmark. From these lands, the Vikings expanded into the world. From Norway, they ventured to Iceland, Greenland, and North America. Through Sweden, they explored and traded in the Baltic Sea, Russia, Byzantium, and Central Asia. From Denmark, they conducted expeditions to England and France. Europeans collectively referred to these people from Norway, Sweden, and Denmark as Vikings. When and why did the Vikings emerge on the historical scene? The Vikings emerged on the historical stage around 789 to 793 AD. The beginning of the Viking Age is often associated with a raid on the Lindisfarne Monastery by warriors arriving in 3 ships from the north, as recorded in an Anglo-Saxon chronicle. This event marked the Vikings' presence in Europe and history. The reasons for Viking raids include population growth in Scandinavia during the 7th and 8th centuries, the opportunities for piracy created by flourishing Western European maritime trade, and their advanced shipbuilding techniques, which surpassed the maritime capabilities of Europe and Asia at the time. Were the Vikings just a barbaric tribe? The majority of Vikings were farmers, fishermen, traders, craftsmen, blacksmiths, and carpenters. Many balanced their lives between farming and participating in overseas expeditions. They typically ate 2 meals a day, consisting of bread, oatmeal, milk, cold cuts, and fruit for breakfast, and a more substantial dinner for the wealthy, including sausages, eggs, fish, milk, meat, onions, mushrooms, cheese, apples, nuts, berries, and honey. Meat was boiled or roasted and seasoned with herbs. They obtained salt from seawater and drank milk alongside their meals. Beer, consumed from animal horns, was their favorite drink. According to Viking beliefs, a man was not considered a true man unless he became drunk. The Vikings followed a polytheistic pagan belief system known as Norse mythology, encompassing nature's powers, heroism, and the afterlife. Odin, god of wisdom, war, and death, the leader of the gods. Thor, god of the sky, thunder, and war, carried the famous hammer Mjolnir. Freya, goddess of love, beauty, and war. Loki, god of cunning and mischief. Tyr, god of war and bravery. They worshipped their gods in sacred groves and islands, offering regular sacrifices of crops, animals, and even humans. They called the human world Midgard, and the gods' realm Asgard. What were Viking homes like? Viking homes, known as longhouses, were made from natural materials like wood and stone. These single-room structures had sloped roofs covered with thatch. A central fire provided warmth and cooking. Families lived together in these homes, which featured simple, functional furniture. The houses were designed to withstand the harsh Nordic climate and were surrounded by gardens and animal shelters. What was life like for Viking women? Viking women held almost equal status with men. They had rights to marry, divorce, own property, and inherit wealth. Men preferred strong and tall women, as they might need to protect the home in their husband's absence. Women engaged in spinning, sewing, and cooking, and some even participated in raids. How did Vikings resolve disputes? Disputes were settled in public assemblies called things. Every free Viking could attend, including women, although women were not allowed to vote. What was Viking society like? Viking society was hierarchical. King, konung, the supreme leader who ruled the land and commanded the army. Jarls, nobles and powerful warriors under the king. Carls, bandi, farmers, artisans, and free individuals forming the majority. Thralls, the lower class, including slaves and servants. Women, although most Viking women were involved in household tasks, some held powerful positions within their communities. Viking battle tactics, raids, and surprise attacks. Vikings launched sudden raids to catch their enemies off guard. They swiftly landed, plundered villages, monasteries, and towns, and quickly retreated. Naval expeditions and rapid movement. With their light and agile ships, drakars, Vikings moved quickly across the sea, enabling them to strike coastal regions efficiently. They would sometimes board enemy ships directly during naval battles. Shield wall tactic. Vikings formed a wall with their shields on the battlefield, providing collective defense against arrows and spears. Berserker tactics. Berserkers were fierce warriors who fought in a frenzy, seemingly immune to pain. This terrifying display often demoralized their enemies. What is Valhalla? The Vikings believed that warriors slain in battle would ascend to Valhalla, Odin's great hall, where they would be resurrected. Those deemed worthy would have the honor of fighting alongside Odin during Ragnarok, the apocalyptic battle. Only the bravest warriors were granted entry, chosen by Valkyries and taken to Asgard. Symbols and banners of the Vikings. The raven. This symbol signified victory in battle, based on the belief that the flapping of a raven's wings foretold success. Thor's hammer, Mjolnir, representing power, protection, and victory. Mjolnir amulets were believed to ward off evil spirits. Wolves. In Norse mythology, wolves symbolized strength and bravery, with Fenrir being a prominent figure. Some Viking shields bore wolf imagery. Yggdrasil, the great tree connecting the realms, symbolizing the cycle of life, the power of nature, and the unity of the universe. Valkyries. These female warrior spirits guided fallen warriors to Valhalla, symbolizing courage and an honorable afterlife. Ægishjálmur, a magical symbol used to instill fear in enemies, often painted or worn during battles. The Vikings were more than just a historical phenomenon. They embodied humanity's drive for exploration, conflict, and innovation. These enigmatic warriors of the North continue to inspire and fascinate, their legacy shining a light on both our past and our future. Thanks for watching.